Hey guys, and welcome to Ask Allie, your place for spiritual advice for busy people. Ask Allie is the longest running spiritual podcast on iTunes. I've been helping others there since 2005. You can catch the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, True FM, Google Play, and on YouTube. Today is Tuesday, March 6, 2018. I want to thank you for tuning in and giving me a listen to. If you'd like to get a reading, find out more about me, or support the podcast, I'll leave the information below in the show's notes. And don't forget, if you like this episode, please rate it. I'm sorry this is a day late. Usually I do these on Monday. This is Tuesday. As many of you may or may not know, I am also a bus driver, and we have lots of field trips coming up. I took a field trip yesterday. It happened to take the entire time between my morning run and my afternoon run, which is when I normally do the Ask Allie on a Monday. So I apologize. Spring is coming up and we're going to be busy. So I don't know how many times I will have to do this on a Tuesday instead of a Monday. But that's what's going on. Also, what's going on, don't forget the 777 Institute is going to be opening up here in March. If you'd like to be an instructor, send me an email to info@777institute.com, and I'll send you out an information packet. If you'd like to be a student, go to 777institute.com and just put your email address there, and I'll send you an email when we are up and running. I'm so excited. I can't wait till this is going. At the 777 Institute, we're going to be bringing together spiritual teachers and spiritual seekers in a nice, safe atmosphere where you can learn at your own pace, and it'll be open and inclusive. And I am excited because the courses are just step one. I have a whole tier of stuff we're going to be doing, and yeah, I am just beyond thrilled to get going with this. So that's coming up. Let's go to the tarot card reading for the overview of this week, starting today, Tuesday, the 6th, going through Sunday. And remember, guys, this is an overview, so everything that crops up might not necessarily pertain to you. If you want a one-on-one reading where everything pertains to you, please go to my website, outofbodyecstasy.com, and go ahead and order a reading. My readings start at $25. Not too shabby. All right, and of course, all follow-up questions are included with the reading price. Good deal. Also, good deal, we're going to still be using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed. I am still learning this deck. It's been a pretty nice deck so far, but because I am learning it, this is the one I wanted to use. So here we go. I use this deck for the supporters of my podcast with Coffee with Allie. That's the little show I do for them. And it's interesting, the cards that I pulled for them. So let's see if it's just as interesting for you guys. I bet it will be. All right, so 1, 2. That card's flying everywhere. And 3. All right. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Just stay over there in a kind of a pile. I had that one before, I do believe. This one, oh, he looks so happy. And ooh, and we got fire. All right, so first one I think we have had, it was last week, the week before, because I haven't had this deck for very long, is the King of Water. And this is all about moving forward with life, dealing with your emotions. The King of Water, emotions tend to get, well, what do I want to say? Kind of explosive, kind of like a big water fountain. It starts off kind of condensed, and it doesn't take up much room. But as the water goes up in the fountain, it spreads out, so it kind of explodes. It goes far-reaching. That's what the King of Water is calling out to me this week. It's all about you are the king or queen of your emotions, and you need to be careful with them, because with the emotions, you see the little pitchfork here on the card. If you are not careful with your emotions, and you're not careful with the way you express them and talk to others, you're going to be stabbing them with that pitchfork, and it's going to be stuff that you cannot take back. Okay, so be careful with that. The second card I drew is Ten of Water, and look at that. Doesn't he look so happy? I think, isn't that Buddha? Happy Buddha. And again, water, dealing with emotions. And this is more of a card of transformation. And you know, any transformation, no matter how much we want it, still brings back, you know, kind of explosive amount of emotions. So this is a card of love and peace and transformation and being who you are supposed to be. And for a lot of people, myself included, being who you are supposed to be can be difficult. It's not always the easiest thing to be who you are in front of other people when they do not feel or believe the same things you do. So, being who you are, lots of emotions, which brings us to the last one, which is kind of nice. This is the Eight of Fire. And the Eight of Fire is all about transformation. So we've got Mr. Buddha here with the emotions and the transformation in being who you're supposed to be. And then we have the fire here, also a transformation. With the fire is like there's a like someone lit a match under your bum, and yeah, trying to get you going with transformation. And see the 8 there, 8 of fire. The thing about an 8 is an 8 deals with material goodness, for more money, a better job, better opportunities that lead to financial gain. So, overall this week, guys, we have, again, the King of Water, emotions. You know, be careful with emotions. We have the Ten of Water, which is being who you are, love, patience. He seems like a happy guy, doesn't he? And transformation. And then we have the Eight of Fire, which is also transformation, but it lights a fire under your butt. And an 8 deals with monetary gain, financial goodness. Interesting week. 2 emotion cards. So we got to watch our emotions this week. It could be kind of volatile if we're not careful. And you know what else I noticed here in the Buddha? Now I'm sitting here looking at him some more. See the pink hearts, or the pink hearts, the pink flowers. Pink is the color of self-love. It is part of the heart chakra. And he's got, you know, 2 of them here. And it seems like balancing self-love, balancing with what you give yourself to what you should be giving yourself. Right? All right. So in case you do not watch this video, if you're listening to the audio, go ahead and Google these cards. The Good Tarot should be up online someplace. You've got first the King of Water, second the Ten of Water, and last but certainly not least, the Eight of Fire. I just keep thinking about the Ring of Fire from Nemo. Anytime I see fire. Okay. So, moving forward. There we go. I got to scroll down a bit. Now, last week, we talked about, I asked you if you are a Frankenstein. And a few people wrote me an email. They're like, what? I wasn't too sure of your topic, Allie, but as we listened on, you know, you seem to have making some sense. Which is good. Better be making some sense than no sense at all. I asked you if you're a Frankenstein, and then I talked last week about how to figure out what you are Frankenstein. This week, I want to go over closing the gap between what you want and what you have. Now, I want you to take out the 2 papers from last week. If you did not do the exercise from the Frankenstein episode, please stop listening to me right now. Hit stop. Go back to last week and do the exercise about the Frankenstein. Because this week makes no sense if you did not do last week. Okay? Okay, so we're pretending you did do it. So closing the gap. The first thing you have to do when you close the gap, and I think this is actually the worst thing you have to do, because it's painful, because it's dealing with pain. When you have the gap there, even if you don't feel it on a daily level, there's pain and regret and anger, and you have to examine it. I said it's not fun. It's painful. And the best way to deal with pain that I have found thus far is to acknowledge it. Okay, to acknowledge it, that you have it. Second, once you acknowledge it, you write down your feelings associated with it. Okay, write it down, preferably on a piece of paper and pen. Don't type it out. Actually work and write this down. And write down as much or as little as you want. And then I burn the piece of paper in a fire-proof bowl where it's safe. You never want to do anything if it's not a safe spot to burn something. All right, safe, safe, safe. I shouldn't have to say that, but I do. Okay, so you burn the paper. All right. After that's all done, then you find something to go after, something that you know that if you accomplish, whether it's small or big, will make you happy. This time around, what was I dealing with the pain? Oh, the no zone. I'm still very sad about my cat dying. Still makes me very upset, but I've been dealing with the pain of Denozo, believe it or not, by working on my FICA score. The two are not related at all. But I'm working very hard on my FICA score, and I keep looking at it climb, and every time it even goes up a point, I am a happy camper. So I am dealing with the pain. I know it's there. I've already written everything down. I've burnt it up. And I'm trying to put my focus in on something that does bring me joy, the FICA score. Okay? So that's step one. Step two, the papers. They're in front of you right now. Look at both papers, all right, and find out if there's something there that you still want today. Like on paper one, you might have wanted to live in North Carolina. You're living in New York right now, but you want to live in North Carolina. Nowadays, today, March 6, 2018, do you still want to live in North Carolina? Is it still a want of yours? You need to decide what's still a want, what you still desire to have, okay? Third, out of those things that you decide is still a want, make a list of what you do want in order of importance. This is so you know what is still important to you. Okay, not everything will still be important, but some things still might be. Number 4, look at the list, and regardless of importance, what is the easiest thing on that list for you to accomplish? Didn't say it could take, a week or a couple years. What is the easiest route you can take with getting one of those items? I know you know by looking at it. You have to think about it a bit, but I believe you will be able to look at the piece of paper and pick out which one would be the easiest for you to follow. Once you have whatever it is, okay, you grab your calendar, you put whatever the thing is you're going to go after that's on the list that's still important to you, and it's the easiest to get. And then you go back for months, or go forward for months, however you want to do it. I would put something that's important. This is me personally, like getting the 777 Institute up. So I would have put the opening day of the 777 Institute, and then I would have worked backwards on how to get there from here. Filing the articles of incorporation, and getting the website, and doing the work, and finding teachers and students, and I would have put all that in there. So that's what you have to do. You either start from today and work up, or put a date down the line and work backwards. Whichever way it's easier for you. It doesn't matter which way, as long as you're good with it, okay? After you've added it to the calendar, number 6 is you have to be accountable. Because we can put stuff on here all we want, But if we're not accountable for it, we're never really going to go for it. The accountable is kind of that fire, the 8 of fire, under our butts. It's like with the 777 Institute. I could have never brought it up. I could have never told you guys about the Institute. And I just would have said, oh, I still want to do that. I could tell my friends. And it probably never would have gotten done. But I keep telling you about it. I created the front part of the website that you see is done. That's there. I'm asking for your email addresses. So this is making me accountable to move forward. In hindsight, I'd done this with Soulful Connections, which is still on the blog to get done. But had I built the the Soul Connection website so you can make connections, that would have spurred me to further along get the book done. But 77 Institute has taken precedence. So done that. But that's what you have to do. You have to be accountable. You can be a friend. You can post stuff on Facebook. You can put up, Facebook videos. You can do YouTube. You can do a podcast. You can just get a friend that you're accountable with. Doesn't matter. But you have to be accountable. And then number 7, once whatever that first one is gets completed, the absolute easiest, and you'll go, yay, and you'll be happy, you pick what's the second easiest to get, and so forth until you've cleared everything off that list that you still want. Okay? But first, and it's still foremost, the first one about dealing with the pain, you need to deal with it, like I said, and you need to find a replacement for the pain with happiness. Because if you're not feeling some joy in number 1, you're never going to want to go down all the way to number 7. So if you're feeling pain in 1, it's just like, ugh, and you don't want to do anything. And so you won't. So that's why you have to find something that can give you joy, like in the immediate, like within a month or a couple weeks. I did something again with my FICO score, so it's going to be going up. Very excited, because once it goes up again, I'm buying a car. That's my next happy thing. And that was on my list. That was on my paper to buy a car. And I couldn't buy a new car until I got up my FICO score, which I didn't think about the car until I was already working on my FICO score. See how it all comes together. All right? All right. I will not bore you with anything else. These 7 steps are enough. I really, 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 really hope you do this. That you do the Frankenstein exercise from last week, and that you do these 7 steps today. Because once you have stuff on your list that you're accomplishing and it's in your life, instead of you thinking, instead of it not being in your life, you're just wishful thinking about it, it opens up your energy. It opens you up. When you're upset, when you're angry, when you're regretting things, your energy gets real compacted. And it's real close to you, and you've got like your fists up, and you're keeping everybody away with this very close energy. And as soon as you start getting the things that you've always wanted, that are still important to you, the fists come down and your energy starts opening up. It starts to pop. It starts to be more inviting. It starts to be more invigorating. And you start getting even more than you originally wanted. More good stuff. But you have to open up. Kitten. You have to open up before you can do that. Okay? All right, 2 thumbs up. We can do this. If I can do this and tell you guys stuff I'm doing, you can do it too. Because again, and I say this all the time, I am a Taurus. And I am so incredibly stubborn. It is unbelievable. I detest change with everything in me, no matter if the change is for the good of everybody around me. I still hate getting out of my routine. So for me to do anything at all, anybody can do something. All right? All right, so I want to thank you for joining me here at Ask Allie. If you like this episode, please rate it and tell your friends. The more people who listen, hopefully the more people that can help have their aha moments. Join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find this at www.outofbodyecstasy.com. You guys have yourself a fabulous week, and as of now, I should be able to do this next Monday. Have a fantastic week, guys. Bye-bye.